When I was in primary school, I was a bit of an introvert. And I was just this girl who would just keep to herself. When I went to high school and then later I went to campus, I was outgoing, I was an, out there person. And then, I don't know, I just thought marriages had so many rules. And I thought men had this, I'm the boss kind of mentality, and I couldn't cope with it. So I decided I'm not going to get married. But honestly, I don't know how that changed. I really don't know how that changed. Yeah, but I started feeling like I can get married again. But also at some point when we were just getting to know each other, I started feeling like, oh my God, I can't even live with him again. He has rules, this man. The
rules, as she puts them, are not, I don't have written down rules. I think it's just the value system. And when we met, our characters and our value systems and our, they really didn't rhyme. She was a party girl. She was, hyper and all that. I'm a very, reserved guy. In campus, I was in leadership of the Christian Union. I was actually a chairman of the Christian Union. Yep. When you put the two people together, they really didn't seem to connect. And I think that really was a big concern to her and even her friends. Most of her friends are people I wouldn't be friends with. Most of the friends she had then. And then, so they were talking to her and telling her, do you think you really, you guys will get along with each other? Do you know Ray? Ray is a CU chairman. Do you think you can date a CU chairman? And so I think she didn't know me. And slowly by slowly, we got to know each other better. Initially, even people thought, why are you dating this lady? Some people were even worried. We got to know each other and people started understanding her. I think now the rules disappeared.
One thing is, I am tall, so I cannot really put on a long dress. This is CU chairman. I am putting on my short dresses, and I can just change my wardrobe because I'm going to see you. So I walk in there with my short skirt and a heel and a pair of heels, and these guys are thinking, oh my God, this is temptation in the physical. Walking temptation. And then he did. He saw the point because he understands with my body shape, I really can do a long skirt. I don't do things that are out there. If I don't feel the cloth, so I can do a wide thing. So if I have to do a skirt, it has to be straight or fitting somehow. But now when we're going home, maybe to see my mommy, to see his mommy, I'll do a long dress occasionally, or I'll do trousers, mostly trousers when I'm going to see my mom. Yeah. And their church, oh Lord. Our church, if I'm going to church like this, I am so dressed, I have so many clothes. Their church is, if I go like this, I'm naked.
The main reason why the church administration decided on dressing, is mainly for the people who serve in the ministries. So if you're in the music team, just taking care of everyone else in the congregation. If she can't go meet her mom-in-law or the father-in-law in a certain dress, then it means there's something that, so if there's a certain dress or certain skirt that you can't wear to see your mom-in-law, your dad-in-law, then it means there's something that, so that is what we're talking about. The fact that already there's a question, there's a caution to be taken on that dress when you're going to meet your in-laws, already means there's something.
if my mommy feels that my short skirts are offensive, it's okay. I can do a long dress completely for her. And he also knows I do the long dresses completely for his parents, not for me, for them. Because I don't live there anyway, so it's a day or two and then I'll be back to my normal life. Just a little adjustment for peace. I don't like these hyper songs. So I would go out dancing Mugithi or doing salsa. And okay, you can do salsa during the day, duh. You do salsa in the evening. So the fact that I would go out at 5:30 or 6 and come back at 9 or 10, oh, he was so not at home with that. And I would go out with maybe my friends who are not born again. Yeah. So I don't know, the CU people just didn't like me.
We're in a relationship.
That will lead to marriage.
Yes. So you wouldn't expect that I would go out with my friends, girlfriends, and what have you, leave you, and you would go out with your boyfriends. That, you know, there are some things you now start doing together. You either do them together, you don't do them. So especially some things that I would view or she would view that, you know, not in good. They're not. For instance, I wouldn't even accompany her to any of those sessions. Not salsa. You know, there's a time she told me to take her to, when was it? Ramogi night. Being a Christian, I wouldn't, there are circles that I wouldn't sit in. Mainly because you wouldn't partake of the conversations or the activities or the, you know. So the things that might look, safe, but really when you do them, it's a slow fade. You'll find yourself on the other side. So the best thing is to stay off them.
What I struggled with most was the salsa dances, because I used to go for salsa at either Intercon or Club Hearts in town. And that was pure salsa. As in, okay, people would be maybe having their drinks there, but it was just the dance and nothing else, you know. We kind of struck a balance. We said we will learn salsa together, and then I don't know where we will be dancing. I think in the house. We don't have a daddy, or my mommy is my mommy and daddy. And well, yeah, my mommy is single. I call her special. So yeah.
I've also had an issue with it. At some point, it was threatening to our relationship because I really wanted, because as you've clearly mentioned, that maybe from where I come from, guys are really paternal, and the father really means a lot, whether he's present or not present. So I thought her identity, at some point I used to tell myself that I really don't know her. I don't know her identity because I don't know her dad. But after listening to her, after struggling with the matter, I decided to accept it the way it is and let it be.
He's not been there, and I don't give a hoot. But really, I'm not interested.
One other thing about it, I even raised it with her at some point when we were building our relationship, and I was thinking about it. You know, I've grown up with a dad and a mom, and I'm privileged, and thank God that I had that opportunity. And that has given me a lot of insights of how a husband, of how a father behaves, of how a wife or a mother behaves, whether in good times or in bad times. And so I thought of it, she doesn't have a dad, she doesn't have a brother, so she's never had that experience with a man in the family, whether a brother or a father. And now I'm going to marry her. I'm going to be the first closest man she's ever had in her life. That poses a lot of challenges. She might do things out of ignorance that maybe are not good to the marriage, or she might, you know, it brings a lot of, it raises a lot of questions and uncertainty and all. So it was a worrying thing for me, but I think I've worried a lot about it, I've thought about it, and there's nothing much I can do about it. All I can is to work with what I have and produce the best out of it. Found a house that I will be moving in at the end of the month. Then she will join me. Big discussion. I don't want to call it argument. Discussion.
You got it.
I was suggesting that she moves into my house, and she was not very comfortable with that house. Maybe she doesn't like the way this is done or that is done. So we started looking for houses. I found one.
You skipped a step down.
Okay. She suggested that we move to her house. And I also didn't like a lot of things about the way the house is done. The only other thing was to find another house. So we went out looking for houses. I found a very nice house, but it was not on the route that she wanted. So again, I don't know what was happening on that day, but it was a working day. She was out with her colleagues and they found this house, and she took photos, sent them to me, told me I found this house. So we decided to go and check it out. I was just going because, okay, let's just go check it out. So it's not saying that I completely turned it down. So when I went, I liked the neighborhood, I liked the house. Yes, I liked the house very much. So there are very big rooms, very spacious. Then the security.